Antonio, meteorologist Mia Montgomery here with this week's Weather on the Road. We are taking you to the Sunken Gardens Theater in preparation.
Three, two, one.
Good morning. Happy Thursday. Happy Friday. Jonathan Cotto filling in for RJ. Thanks for being here.
Oh, pleasure being here. It's always a good time, and I'm glad to see you, Alicia.
Thank you.
Been busy.
We've been a little busy, absolutely. So welcome to KSAT News Now, bite-sized newscast. Again, Jonathan filling in for RJ, and we have a busy morning today. We're taking weather on the road. Mia Montgomery shows us how the weather is shaping up for an awesome event this weekend.
Plus, a wild story about a fan rushing the Astros field and how a star player, Jose Altuve, responded.
And Chase Banker's in for a change. We'll explain that in a bit.
But first, we begin this morning with new information regarding the massacre at Robb Elementary that took place on May 24th. We're hearing new audio recordings revealing a DPS captain ordering officers not to enter the school 70 minutes into the shooting response.
A CNN report says 15-year veteran Captain Joel Betancourt believed a more highly skilled team was coming.
From radio, the audio came from radio traffic and was picked up from body cams officers were wearing that day. And according to CNN, Betancourt told investigators he showed up minutes before the gunman was killed.
So again, Betancourt thought a better team was on the way to the school, so he told the breach team to stand by. He says no one responded or followed his order.
We are learning he's still on active duty. He's one out of 7 DPS officers under investigation.
All right, so here at KSAT, we're sending thoughts and prayers to a longtime radio host, Russell Rush, and of course his family. So his wife, Sarah Lynn, confirmed Rush is now at home in hospice care, this after a courageous cancer battle.
It was back in 2019 that Rush announced to his listened on to 96.1 Now that he was diagnosed with a rare form of cancer called T-cell lymphoma.
Yeah, there is no cure for this aggressive cancer, only treatment and hope for remission. And yesterday, his wife posted on Facebook saying they are back home spending the next days with family, but also working on memorial services. So I can't imagine, as you know, just the family preparing to say goodbye, but also being with him in these moments. And according to that post, you know, he's resting a lot, so she is trying to read the messages of support that community members and his listeners, his longtime listeners, have been sending in.
That's right, just a difficult time for the family having to do that. I can only begin to imagine, but of course, our prayers to the family at this moment.
So in her post, she also asked the community for patience, saying she understands that many of his listeners may need closure, but of course they have to put family first, and she's hoping that people understand that. She adds, quote, "We are heartbroken but blessed and currently don't need anything but love," end
That's
quote.
right, prayers going up. Well, in other news, trending news, how far would you go for a selfie, or how fast would you run?
Yeah, a Houston Astros fan ran onto the field, and this during Game 2 of the AL Championship Series last night for a selfie with Houston's star second baseman.
It's safe to say he only got to second base. Jose Altuve, before pulling out his phone, tried to take a selfie. Altuve said he saw someone running onto the field, but knew he'd be okay because the fan was wearing an Astros jersey. So
yeah, he's like, I'm fine, I'll be fine. Altuve said the fan told him they better win because he had spent all his money on the ticket, and I don't even know what these tickets run for, but obviously
all his money. That implies that it was a lot, but
probably hundreds, I could say.
To check.
So Altuve was, of course, a good sport and said he was ready to take the selfie, but security got there, pulled the man away, wrestled with him for a bit until they were able to handcuff and escort him away. So they did confirm that the fan was arrested.
Well, that's good. I mean, this is a conversation I was having with Sean earlier today. You know, back in the 70s, this would have been okay, but given the climate and the world we live in, security really needs to be on the ball. But the distraction didn't stop the Astros, and although by a narrow margin, the Astros hung on to beat the New York Yankees 3-2. Houston leads the series 2-0.
So it didn't cost them too much, right? They
Yeah.
still kept their head in the game, if you will.
Let's see how the New Yorkers behave.
Exactly. All right, so everyone knows Payday Friday, but what about Payday Wednesday? Some customers of JP Morgan Chase can get their money a little earlier than usual.
The largest bank in America is offering its 1.4 million secure banking customers early access to specific direct deposits, including paychecks and pensions.
The money could arrive up to 48 hours sooner than before. Officials at Chase say this move could help some household with paying bills on time and dealing with those unexpected expenses.
Well, you know, it's always good to get your money not only on time, but if you can get it in advance, even better.
So here with us, I think we get paid on Thursdays, right? Like every other Thursday. But those I know who have USAA get paid Wednesday, and I'm always slightly jealous, I will say.
No, it's super cool. This is, I mean, if you can get, if you're banking with Chase or USAA, it's definitely such a cool perk because payday Wednesdays, really just, it's nice to get paid in advance.
So other banks, and those include Current, Capital One, we mentioned USAA, and Wells Fargo, which I didn't know this. I'm a Wells Fargo customer.
Oh, well, there you
so
go.
apparently they're offering early access to customers. What? Now I have to call them. Or
Yeah, you got to get paid on Wednesdays.
what? That's cool.
Well, it's Friday, and that means Mia Montgomery is taking weather on the road. Let's take a look at where she is.
Hey San Antonio, meteorologist Mia Montgomery here with this week's weather on the road. We are taking you to the Sunken Gardens Theater in preparation for this weekend's Zoo Fest Music Festival. Half happening here on Saturday, an afternoon and evening full of food, drinks, and awesome music like the Josh Abbott Band and A.B. Quintanilla. If you're stepping out here this Saturday or just around town for any weekend plans, for our weekend forecast, the humidity works back in as temperatures start to warm. Mornings work their way through the 60s in the San Antonio area with highs in the upper 80s, near 90. It'll also be pretty breezy at times too, so maybe tie down those inflatable pumpkins. Have a safe and fun weekend, and as always, if you have a fun event happening in your neck of the woods or you just want us to come out to your hometown, be sure to let us know. For Weather on the Road, I'm meteorologist Mia Montgomery, KSAT 12 News.
Okay, so Mia mentioned the Zoo Fest. Tickets are available for the Zoo Fest, and they start at $40. But before we get to other events, the lineup.
Spend all my money.
It is really good. The music lineup, you have fun.
You heard it.
The Cumbia Kings. So Finding Friday, they start at 3, and then at 4 you have 4:30 Spin Doctors, which I'm not familiar with their music.
Yeah,
and then probably what Minnie will be there for at 6:30, A.B. Quintanilla and the Cumbia All Stars.
I might have to, but
absolutely.
that's okay.
I will be there. And then Josh Abbott Band closing the show at 9 p.m.
Super cool.
I'm
What
like,
a lineup.
I'm already
Fest
starstruck
coming
imagining
through this year.
A.B. and the Cumbia All Stars.
Man, I grew up listening to Cumbia Kings.
Same.
All the
We were
hits.
just having a song session. If you heard the call, if you know, you know.
If you know, you know. That's
Yeah.
so true. Yeah.
All right, so there are other events this weekend, and of course, a pumpkin patch.
Yay.
And it's running all month long at the Tower of the Americas.
You can get into the spooky vibes with an interactive showing of Rocky Horror Picture Show at Brick and Blue Star.
Have you ever been to one of those showings for the
I
Rocky?
haven't.
It's
I
fun.
haven't. Yeah, I
It
have
is
to
fun.
do it.
Like even if you have like zero knowledge, you've never been like the interactive ones are super fun.
Just get into it. Well, tomorrow, Azul, a Mexican folk artist, is hosting a Dia de los Muertos concert at the Esperanza Peace and Justice Center.
Yeah, she'll also be performing on the main stage at Muertos Fest, which is happening next weekend.
That's right.
And we will be there. So
Super
excited
excited
for
about
that.
that, yes.
I was thinking this morning while I was getting ready, I'm like, man, I can't believe it's already one of my favorite seasons of
Yes,
the
I
year
know.
where we prepare
Yes.
to celebrate Dia de Muertos.
Yeah, Dia de los Muertos, Day of the Dead. It's a huge event. We've already been working on incredible stories, covering some beautiful altares that will all be on display the 29th, so you don't want to miss out. Make sure that you head on over to Hemisphere Park.
All right, so a lot of things to do this weekend. Of course, next week we'll be super busy. Thanks for tuning in. Jonathan, thanks for filling in. We
Always a
appreciate you.
pleasure. Thank you,
All right,
Alicia.
you guys have a good Friday. See you Monday at 11.